Grant, you talked about, last week we talked about Patrick not really interacting much with Eric Bieniemy, and now it's come out that he's not quite getting along with some of the guys in Washington right now. You know, that I think I was listening to an interview and I was listening to Shady McCoy talk about him that, he is old school. He's going to coach you hard. He's going to get on you when you're not doing things right, but he's also going to be your biggest fan, which I do think that's true. He was very hard on Adrian Peterson, and a lot of the credit to Adrian Peterson's success was because of Eric Bieniemy. But I was also listening to Shady McCoy, who played for him for a couple of years, and he talked about that all of that is true, but Eric Bieniemy might not be the best as far as he's going to get on, but he doesn't. From what Shady has said, is that he doesn't do a great job of how you should correct it and what you should do to get better and how to improve on what you're doing wrong. But I know you said you had some thoughts on it, so I'll let you go.
Well, yeah, when it comes out, yesterday you hear the report that Rivera had some comments from some players that Eric Bieniemy's intensity was too much and they weren't ready for it. And when I heard that, I just realized why the Washington Commanders, the Washington Redskins, this football organization is why they're losers. Because they're soft, prima donna football players who don't want to be coached up. They didn't like how intense Eric Bieniemy was. It's the National Football League. You are the best of the best. You are the top 0.1% elite athlete in this country, and you don't want to be coached hard? Dude, these guys are making, at minimum, veterans minimum, $400,000 a year. A lot of your stars like Terry McLaurin, I'm sure, are making north of $15 million a year. That's generational wealth, something we're never going to touch. And you're a soft-ass football player because he's a little too intense. No wonder why this football team always loses. And then these Commanders, they're the same guys who probably want to go on Twitter and say, I'm an NFL player. Hey, man, I'm a lion. You got to mess with me. Yeah, you're a lion from the Wizard of Oz because you have no heart, you pansy. It's just, like I said last week about Bieniemy, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, Charkandrick West, Spencer Ware, Isaiah Pacheco, Jet McKinnon off 3 ACLs, Chester Taylor for one season in Minnesota. Look at all of those running backs that Bieniemy and Damian Williams, Darrell Williams. Look, all these running backs that Bieniemy has coached, that he's made a better player. And he's made them probably from good players to Pro Bowl players, and from Pro Bowl players to maybe all pros in Jamal Charles' this case. If you don't want to be coached up and you feel like he's too intense on you, get out of the league. Get to the NFL. You're not ready for this. It shows to me you don't want to win. And yesterday you had Tyreek Hill come out and defend him, and Travis Kelce's defending him on New Heights all the time. Yes, Eric he's gonna give it to you. He's gonna make you work hard, but you're gonna put in all that work and you're gonna accomplish a lot of things. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be coached like that. And to his criticism, could he work on improving, telling his players what they need to work on, how they should work on that? Yes, probably. And I think also Ron Rivera said that today. That's the big difference between him and Jack Del Rio. Jack being a head coach before, he's gonna let his players how they should improve and work on things. And yeah, Eric could take that and learn from that, but he wants the best for you, and he's going to be on you because it's the highest level of professional sports. And if you don't want a coach like that, well, get out of there and go back to college, earn a degree, and get a job like us. Don't complain to me about how he's too intense. This coach has been in 3 of the last 5 Super Bowls, and he's won 2. He knows how to win. And you know what? I'm guessing Andy Reid's just as intense and tough on his quarterbacks, on Andy's offensive linemen. Eric got that from someone. So you know what? Complain that it's too intense, Washington, but when you're 6-11 this year and you're in last place, don't complain to me because your coach is too tough on you.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that even came out that Ron Rivera even talked about that. Right now, I was kind of confused by why that was already getting out, but I also think too is that Ron Rivera is on the hot seat,
No question about it.
and Eric Bieniemy has also been brought up and interviewed for head coaching positions in the past. He hasn't gotten them yet. I think Ron Rivera might be doing some positioning that if things start to go south, that's out there that Eric Bieniemy isn't might be the problem where he's doing a little bit of saving face, so to where Ron can put the blame on somebody else. But
Well, and your spot.
we'll find out. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but sometimes my brain starts thinking about things, and
Wait, Dylan, that makes sense. Ron Rivera, it's going to be his fourth full season there in Washington. He won it in his first year, thanks to, let's be honest, the Dak Prescott broken ankle. And he's lucky that Alex Smith kind of came in and was able to save the day on one leg. But besides that, has been a big letdown these last 2 years in Washington. And new ownership, Dan Schneider is finally out of there. You're telling me this owner who owns the 76ers, and I think is it the New Jersey Devils, and then Magic Johnson and other people, they want to win too. And if Ron can't prove it, guess what? There's the front door. Thanks for everything. We'll see you later. Look what happened in Denver. They had a new owner after Nathaniel Hackett was hired last year. That was a disaster. He was shown the front door. It's professional sports. So you're spot on, Ron. He's got a little cleanup and he's got to worry about for his job himself.
Yep.